Many define justice as a decision in their favor.
You promise me this, you promise me that, you promise me anything under the sun, and you give me a kiss and you're grabbing your hand and you're off to the races again. When I think of the time gone by, and I think of the way I tried, I could honestly die.
Call a lawyer and sue me, sue me. What can you do me? I love you. Give a holler and hate me, hate me. Go ahead, hate me.
The best years of my life I was a fool to give to you.
Alright already, I'm just a no good Nick. Alright already, it's true, so new, so sue me. Sue me, what can you do me? I love
you. You gambled it here, you gambled it there, you gambled on everything all except me, and I'm sick of you keeping me up in the air till you're back in the money again. When I think of the time gone by, and I think of the way I tried, I could honestly die.
Serve a paper and sue me, sue me. What can you do me? I love you. Give a holler and hate me, hate me. Go ahead, hate me.
When you wind up in jail, don't come to me to bail you out.
Already, so call a policeman. All right, already, it's true, so new, so sue me, sue me. What can you do me? I love you.
The following may sound crazy, but they are actual court cases.
The classic McDonald's coffee case represents the litigious society we are becoming. It led to genuine reform and has now reached urban myth status.
In 1994, a woman sued McDonald's after she spilled a cup of their coffee in her lap, leading to pretty serious injuries requiring skin grafts. She received $640,000 of the $2.9 million she was awarded. And now, a lot of our coffee cups carry a warning that the beverage is hot.
There have been copycat lawsuits. One woman in California sued McDonald's for not putting the lid on tight enough. The fact that we needed a lawsuit to tell us that coffee is indeed hot warrants some ridicule.
Josh Truman, 19, of Los Angeles, won $74,000 in medical expenses when his neighbor ran over his hand with a Honda Accord. Mr. Truman didn't notice someone was at the wheel of the car whose hubcap he was trying to steal.
A North Carolina man purchased a case of rare, expensive cigars and insured them against fire. Within a month, having smoked all of the cigars, he filed a claim against the insurance company that he had lost the cigars in a series of small fires.
The insurance company refused to pay, citing that the man had consumed the cigars in a normal fashion.
The man sued and won. The judge stated that since the insurance company had warranted the cigars insurable and guaranteed to insure them against fire without defining what was an unacceptable fire, it was obligated to compensate the insured for his loss.
To avoid a lengthy and costly appeal process, the insurance company accepted the judge's ruling and paid him $15,000 for the rare cigars he lost in the fires.
Well, after the man cashed his check, however, the insurance company had him arrested on 24 counts of arson.
Using his insurance claim and testimony from the previous case as evidence against him, the man was convicted of intentionally burning the rare cigars and sentenced to 24 consecutive one-year terms.
Dara Waltmore of Claymore, Delaware, successfully sued the owner of a nightclub in a neighboring city when she fell from the bathroom window to the floor and knocked out her front 2 teeth.
This occurred while Ms. Walton was trying to sneak through the window in the ladies' room to avoid paying the $3.50 cover charge.
She was awarded $12,000 and dental expenses.
Kathleen Roberts of Austin, Texas, was awarded $780,000 by a jury after breaking her ankle, tripping over a toddler who was running amok inside a furniture store.
The owners of the store were understandably surprised at the verdict, considering the misbehaving tyke was Miss Roberts' son.
As a lady 8 months pregnant got on a bus, she noticed a young man smiling and immediately moved to another seat. When the smile turned into a grin, she moved again. The man seemed even more amused. On the 4th move, the man burst out laughing. She complained to the driver and had the man arrested. The case, number 12659, came up in an actual Australian court.
What is your defense for such behavior?
Well, Your Honor, when the lady got on the bus, I noticed her condition. She sat down under a sign that said, "The Double Mint Twins are coming," and I grinned. She moved under a sign that said, "Logan's liniment will reduce the swelling." I had to smile. Then she placed herself under a deodorant sign that said, "William's Big Stick did the trick." And I could hardly contain myself. But, Your Honor, when she moved the 4th time and sat under a sign that said, "Goodyear rubber could have prevented this accident," I just lost it.
Case dismissed.
Terrence G. Williams of Little Rock, Arkansas, was awarded $14,500 and medical expenses after being bitten on the buttocks by his next-door neighbor's beagle.
The award was less than asked for because the jury felt the dog may have been provoked by Mr. Williams, who, at the time, was shooting it repeatedly with a pellet gun. The dog was chained up in his own backyard at the time.
A woman named Kathy McGowan won a local radio competition after correctly answering a question. The local radio said she was going to get a Renault Clio as a prize. But when she arrived at the radio station, she was given a toy replica of the car.
She filed a case against the radio station and was awarded $28,000, the price of the car.
Though Americans seem to sue people at the drop of a hat, prisoner Jonathan Lee Riches, who filed almost 4,000 lawsuits from his Kentucky jail cell, takes the prize.
His targets included Adolf Hitler, the Eiffel Tower, the Garden of Eden, and the former planet Pluto. Besides dead people or inanimate objects, he tried to sue George W. Bush and Britney Spears.
In 2009, the Guinness Book of World Records tried to list him as the most litigious individual in history, so he sued them too.
In 2010, he got his comeuppance when the U.S. Attorney's Office in Kentucky sued him for wasting judicial resources.
Television's legal landscape is awash in honorable characters thanks to court shows, reality series, and crime procedurals such as Law and Order. The People's Court launched the genre of daytime television shows set in real courtrooms. Judge Joseph Wapner presided over the small claims court from 1981 to 1993.
Judge Judy, an Emmy Award-winning show, claimed the title of #1 show on daytime television 4 years in a row. Sheindlin, as a family court judge, allowed cameras in her courtroom. She is also known for her quick wit and decision-making in the civil court cases before her.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Order, all rise.
B.B. Vanderhouse is suing dance instructor Leonard Haggerty for the money she paid him for hip-hop style dance lessons.
Be seated. Your Honor, this is case number 163, Vanderhouse versus Haggerty. All parties have been sworn in.
Now, Mrs. Vanderhouse, you took lessons from this gentleman, and you're not happy with the result, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. You see, my daughter's wedding was coming up, and I wanted to learn some of the new moves, you know, the dance moves that I've seen on MTV. So I saw Mr. Haggerty's ad.
That would be Bust-A-Move Inc., Your Honor.
Hey, sir, I'll grind the organ when I want the monkey to dance, got it?
Okay.
So, madam, you had a problem with this man's technique, is that correct?
Well, he had no technique, Your Honor. I think he just made it up as he went along. I ended up looking like a horse's behind.
Judge, she looked like a horse's behind even before.
Zippo, listen, Bojangles. You don't want Bert to come over there.
You do not want that.
Now continue, madam.
Well, first of all, when he arrived at my home, he asked me to take off my bra, insisting that I would be a better dancer if I'd free up my rack.
Mr. Haggerty, sir, what are your qualifications as a dance instructor?
Well, right off the bat, I can tell you I've been to a lot of dance clubs. It just printed right on my resume.
Oh, I gotta see this.
She's got to see this.
My foster mother told me there were 2 things I did good, lying and dancing. Now, I started breakdancing when I was only 29. By 32, I was freestyling. At 37, I got into hip-hopping and never looked back.
Sir, it says nothing here about any formal training. Where exactly did you study? Tommy Toon?
Well, at the academy.
Okay, sir. You don't have a leg warmer to stand on.
All right, Your Honor. I admit it. I didn't take any high-class classes, but the proof is in the pudding, my feet. You with me?
You lost me on the off-ramp.
He's not even in the rearview mirror.
Okay, Your Honor. If you would just bear with me for a minute so I can demonstrate my special gift.
Great. Why don't you show the white tornado?
Shut up. I was going to tell her that.
Don't you tell me to shut up.
All right.
First, I got to warm up with a little freestyle. Okay, here comes the white tornado. Everybody say hey. Hey! Bert! No! I'm going to do freestyle just for you, Judge.
Okay, sir,
Oh, wait.
the club is full.
Wait, Your Honor, I got a killer groove going here. Come on, let's go. Everybody say hey! 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 Everybody say hey!
Okay. Okay, everybody, have you seen enough? Yeah. I'm ready to roll.
She's ready to rule.
Mr. Haggerty, you might not be aware of this, but I was a regular at Studio 54 in the 70s. Myself, Halston, Liza, we all hung out. So no one's going to pull the dance skin over these eyes, got it? So I'm going to tell you something, sir, something that I know. You can dance.
Yes.
Not only do you cut a rug, you weave it and you shake it out the door.
What the?
Hey, but, madam, I'm going to tell you to shut that wood chopping accident you call a mouth.
Well, I went to Vassar.
Simply put, madam, simply put, you are ignorant and you're a liar, madam.
Good grief, good grief.
The court rules in favor of the defendant. Bert, hose her down.
I don't believe this. This is ridiculous.
You, sir, start the music.
Hear ye, hear ye! The court's in session! The court's in session!
Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
Here come the judge, y'all. Here come the judge.
Judge Judy is presiding today, and she don't take no guff from nobody, no kind of way. Hey boy, take off your hat. Where do you think you're at? I know where you're gonna be if you don't heed my plea. I'm here to tell you,
Court's in session.
order in the court now.
Court's in session.
Ain't nobody smoke now. Here come the judge.
Here come the judge. Here come the judge, y'all.
Here come the judge.
Order, order. What's the first case on the docket?
Judge, I got a boy here that can't dance.
Can dance? 90 days. 30 days for the boogaloo, 30 days to learn how to do a shingling, and 30 more for the peppermint twist. Can dance? What is this?
Court's in session.
Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
Court's in session.
The judge can dance. The judge can dance. Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
Here come the judge, y'all.
Here come the judge.
A policeman catching someone in the act of stealing merchandise from a store can be sure of this. The culprit will begin making excuses, his standard response.
Tell it to the judge. For now, you're under arrest.
I
I went a hunting in the woods. It wasn't very legal. The dog and I were caught with the goods. Pop goes the weasel. I said I didn't hunt or sport. The warden looked at my beagle. He said to tell it to the court. Pop goes the weasel.
What did the judge say when a skunk entered the courtroom?
Odor, odor in the courtroom.
Before a burglary trial, the judge explained, "You can let me try your case, or you can choose to have a jury of your peers.
What are peers?
They're people just like you, your equals."
Forget it. I don't want to be tried by a bunch of thieves.
The swearing in is taken from an actual court transcript.
Please repeat after me. I swear by Almighty God
I swear by Almighty God.
that the evidence that I give,
That's right.
repeat
Repeat
what I said.
what you said when?
That evidence that I give
That the evidence that I give,
shall be the truth and,
it will and nothing but the truth.
please repeat after me, shall be the truth and,
I'm not a scholar, you know.
we can expect that. Just repeat after me. Shall tell the truth and.
Shall be the truth and.
Now say nothing.
Okay.
No, not say nothing. Say nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Can you say nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Well, then do so.
You're confusing me.
Just say nothing but the truth.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Then say it.
What?
Nothing but the truth.
But I do, that's just it.
You have to say nothing but the truth.
I will say nothing but the truth.
Please just repeat these 4 words. Nothing but the truth.
What? You mean like now?
Yes. Now, just say those 4 words.
Nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
I'm just not a scholar, you know.
Can you tell us what was stolen from your house?
A rifle that belonged to my father was stolen from the hall closet.
Can you identify the rifle?
Yes, there was something written on the side of it.
And what did the writing say?
Winchester.
Now, isn't it true that on the 5th of November last year, you rode naked through the streets on top of a dust cart, letting off fireworks and singing, "I did it my way," loudly?
What was the date again?
A man was brought into night court. State your name, occupation, and the charge.
I'm Sparks. I'm an electrician charged with battery.
Bailiff, put this man in a dry cell.
Doctor, how many autopsies have you performed on dead people?
All my autopsies are done on dead people.
Do you recall the time that you examined the body?
The autopsy started around 8:30 p.m.
And Mr. Johnson was dead at the time?
No, he was just lying there wondering why I was doing an autopsy.
Doctor, before you started, did you check for a pulse?
No,
Did you check for blood pressure?
no,
Did you check for breathing?
no.
So then, it's possible that the patient was alive when you began the autopsy.
No,
How can you be so sure, doctor?
because his brain was sitting on my desk in a jar.
But could the patient have still been alive nevertheless?
It's possible that he could have been alive and practicing law somewhere.
Did you ever stay all night with this man in New York?
I refuse to answer that question.
Did you ever stay all night with this man in Chicago?
I refuse to answer that question.
Did you ever stay all night with this man in Miami?
No.
Officer, when you stopped the defendant, were your red and blue lights flashing?
Yes.
Did the defendant say anything to you when she got out of her car?
Yes.
What did she say to you?
She said, "What disco am I at?"
The victim of a purse snatcher testified, "Yes, that's him. I saw him clear as day. I'd remember his face anywhere."
You couldn't see my face, lady. I was wearing a mask. Hey, you.
Me, Officer Krupke?
Yeah, you. Give me one good reason for not dragging you down to the station house, you punk.
Dear kindly Sergeant Krupke, you gotta understand, it's just our bringing up key that gets us out of hand. Our mothers are all junkies, our fathers are all drunk. Golly Moses, naturally we're punks.
Gee, Officer Krupke, we're very upset. We never had the love that every child ought to get. We ain't no delinquents, we're misunderstood. Deep down inside us, we are good.
There is good.
There is good, there is good, there is untapped good. Life inside the worst of us is good.
That's a touching good story.
Let me tell it to the world.
Just tell it to the judge.
Dear kindly Judge, Your Honor, my parents treat me rough with all their marijuana. They won't give me a puff. They didn't want to have me, but somehow I was had. Leaping lizards, that's why I'm so bad.
Officer Krupke, you're really a square. This boy don't need a judge, he needs an analyst's care. It's just his neuroses that ought to be curbed. He's psychologically disturbed.
I'm disturbed.
We're disturbed, we're the most disturbed, like we're psychologically disturbed.
Hear ye, hear ye. In the opinion of this court, this child is depraved on account he ain't had a normal home.
Hey, I'm depraved and I'm deprived too.
So take him to a head shrinker.
My daddy beats my mommy. My mommy clobbers me. My grandma is a commie. My grandpa pushes tea. My sister wears a mustache. My brother wears a dress. Goodness gracious, that's why I'm a mess.
Yes, Officer Krupke, he shouldn't be here. This boy don't need a couch, he needs a tight career. Society's played him a terrible trick, and sociologically he's sick.
I am sick.
We are sick, we are sick, we are sick, 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 like we're sociologically sick.
In my opinion, this child does not need to have his head shrunk at all. Juvenile delinquency is purely a social disease.
Hey, I got a social disease.
Take him to a social worker.
Dear kindly social worker, they tell me get a job, like be a soda jerker, which means like be a slob. It's not I'm antisocial, I'm mostly anti-work. Glorioski, that's why I'm a jerk.
Officer Krupke, you've done it again. This boy don't need a job, he needs a year in the pen. It ain't just a question of misunderstood. Deep down inside him, he's no good.
I'm no good.
We're no good, we're no good, we're no earthly good, like the best of us is no damn good.
The trouble is he's lazy.
The trouble is he drinks.
The trouble is he's crazy.
The trouble is he stinks.
The trouble is he's growing.
The trouble is he's grown.
Krupke, we've got troubles of our own. Gee, Officer Krupke, we're down on our knees. 'Cause no one wants a fellow with a social disease.
Gee, Officer Krupke, what are we to do? Gee, Officer Krupke, Krupp you!
A jury has been defined as 12 men and women banded together for the purpose of deciding which side has the better lawyer.
A judge questioning potential jurors asked, "Is there any reason why you couldn't serve as a juror in this case?"
I don't want to be away from my job that long.
Can't they do without you at work?
Yes, but I don't want them to know that.
Is there any reason why any of you cannot see this trial through to its conclusion?
I can't. Why, just looking at that woman, I'm convinced she's guilty.
Madam, that's the prosecutor.
A prospective juror in a Dallas district court was surprised by the definition of voluntary manslaughter, an unintentional killing that occurs while the defendant is under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause, such as when a spouse's mate is found in a compromising position.
Well, I have a problem with that passion business. During my first marriage, I came home and found my husband in bed with my next door neighbor. All I did was divorce him. I had no idea I could have shot him.
She was not selected for the jury.
"12 angry pigs. The scene is in the jury room of a courthouse. The jury is deliberating."
Boy, I tell you, it's hot.
I thought it was hot in the courtroom, but this room is like an oven.
Do I smell bacon? Ooh, well, that's just me.
So what are we supposed to do?
Weren't you listening to the judge? We vote.
Vote?
Yes, whether or not the wolf is guilty or not guilty.
Well, he looks guilty to me.
Me too.
What do you mean he looks guilty?
Did you see those teeth?
Those wolves have sharp teeth.
The better to gobble you up with, right? Am I right?
But the wolf isn't being on trial for biting someone. The trial is about him blowing down 2 houses.
I thought there were 3 houses.
Well, only 2 houses got knocked down.
Don't you listen.
He huffed and puffed and blew down the houses of those innocent little pigs.
Well, those poor swine. Why, those little pigs are lucky to be alive.
I tell you, those wolves are dangerous.
I wish it wasn't so hot in here. Isn't there a fan or something?
We should get the big bad wolf in here to huff and puff in a cool breeze.
All right, let's get down to business. Now, since I'm the foreman,
Don't you mean 4 pig?
What's a foreman?
it means that I'm the spokesperson for the jury here. When we go back into the court, I'll be the one doing the talking.
So that makes you the head hog.
No, but I do get to read the verdict.
What's a verdict?
It's the decision we make as a jury.
What's a jury?
Can I trade seats with somebody?
Can we just get on with it?
Very well. We have heard the trial. Now we need to determine whether the big bad wolf is guilty or not guilty.
I don't think we should call him Big Bad. He hasn't been convicted yet.
All right, just wolf then.
So let's vote.
All those who believe the wolf is guilty, say oink.
Oink!
Anyone else?
Not oinking.
What's that?
I'm not oinking because I'm voting not guilty.
You think that big bad wolf is innocent?
Well, I haven't made up my mind yet. There have been so many stories about wolves doing terrible things. Maybe we've paid more attention to the fairy tales and not enough to the evidence.
What's evidence?
Did you sleep through the trial? That's the stuff that proves whether or not someone is guilty.
And there should be enough evidence to convince us all of the wolf's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
There's plenty of evidence.
Well, I'd like to hear what all of you think.
Okay, that sounds fine. Let's take turns and explain to our fellow pig why we think the wolf is guilty. Why don't you go first?
Me? Oh, well, I guess I just think he looks awful scary. I can just picture him huffing and puffing and blowing down those houses.
But you didn't see him do it.
But you didn't see him not do it.
But you didn't see him not do it.
Ah, look, here are the facts. These three little pigs, just like you and me, they move away from home. They were brothers, so they decided to build their houses nearby. One pig built his house out of straw, the other built his house out of sticks, and the other brother built his house out of brick. And then what happens? This wolf comes along, pretending to be selling cookies or something. And when the pig won't open up the door, whoosh, there down goes his house. The little pig ran to his brother's house made out of sticks. The wolf follows and whoosh, down goes house number 2. Clear case of destruction of property. And it's a good thing their brother pig made a house out of bricks, because it was strong enough to protect them from being eaten up by that wolf.
Thank you for sharing. What about you, number 4?
Me? Oh, I guess since everyone else thinks he's guilty, he must be.
You shouldn't agree with someone just because that's what a person wants.
Hey, you're right. I agree with you.
I don't want you to agree with her.
Okay.
Well, I believe the wolf is guilty because there was an eyewitness. A local village boy saw the whole crime take place. And since I'm sure he wouldn't lie, I'm certain the wolf must be guilty.
There's the little fellow now.
Hi, piggies. I'm off to guard my flock of sheep.
What a nice young man. That's why I voted to convict the big bad wolf.
Me too. Everything points to the wolf as the criminal. Who else could have done it?
I am afraid that seems to be the only explanation, unless your snout smells something out we haven't.
Besides, he's a wolf. If he's not guilty of this crime, I'm sure he's guilty of something.
You shouldn't say that. It's not nice.
Look, nice or not, the facts clearly show that our wolf friend is guilty. But he sure tried to look all that innocent.
Yeah, did you see him wearing that sheep's clothing during the trial? Well, I saw right through that.
Well, I thought Little Boy Blue's testimony was convincing. I just don't trust that wolf. He claimed that he was a Wolf Scout, selling Wolf Scout cookies door to door. But there's no such thing as a Wolf Scout.
Oh, but there is. There are Cub Scouts and Wolf Scouts and Trout Scouts and all sorts of scouts. And they are all nice sorts of folks.
What do you mean? Look, Ms. Oink, is that why you voted not guilty? You're keeping us cooped up in here like chickens, when we should be home, rolling around in the mud like pigs.
And if the wolf didn't demolish those houses, then who did?
I've been wondering about that myself. Why would a wolf want to knock down a pig's house to begin with?
Well, he wanted to eat.
So he blew the house down so that he could gobble up the first little pig.
But why wouldn't he just wait for the pig to leave his straw house, then grab him? Why spend all of that energy blowing down the house?
He couldn't wait. He was too hungry.
If he was too hungry, then why didn't he just eat the cookies he was selling?
Because wolves don't eat cookies.
Yeah.
They eat pork chops.
Yeah.
and ham hocks.
Yeah.
And stop agreeing with everything I say.
Yeah.
All this talk about food is making me hungry.
Me too.
I wish we had lunch or something.
You piggies, it's chow time. Want some pig slop?
Yes, please.
Come and get it. I was just joking. It's empty.
Oh, well, you sure fooled us, young man.
Now run along, little boy Blue. We pigs have work to do.
Now, as I was saying, I don't think the wolf huffed and puffed at all.
Then how did the house fall down?
Think about it. Of the 3 little pigs, only one knew how to build houses well, and that little pig built his house out of brick. The houses of straw and sticks were so frail they could have fallen down when the wolf politely knocked on the door.
Politely knocked? Oh, do you believe this swine?
I'm just saying it's possible. And since when do wolves blow air with the force of a hurricane?
That's a very good point. I watched a documentary on wolves, and it didn't mention a thing about huffing or puffing.
Which reminds me of something else the defense forgot to mention.
What's that?
Oh, bailiff, we'd like to examine a piece of evidence.
Which one?
The wolf's pack, please.
Just a moment.
Thank you, bailiff.
What's a bailiff?
He's like a policeman for the courtroom throughout the trial process. He keeps things in order.
You know, order. Oh, I'd like to order a large cheese pizza. Leave off the pepperoni.
Not that kind of order.
Gee, I'm awful hungry.
Free cheese pizza, fresh from the oven. Absolutely delicious. Who wants a slice?
I do.
Ah, fooled you again.
Say, that's not very nice.
Little boy Blue, that joke is not funny anymore.
We're trying to work here.
Here's the wolf's pack.
Let's see. Here are the Wolf Scout cookies and his Wolf Scout badge.
That doesn't prove anything.
What about this asthma inhaler?
So what?
How could the so-called big bad wolf huff and puff when he has asthma?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, so he's got asthma medicine in his wolf pack.
He probably stole it. Wolves will do that.
Not all wolves are like that, and you know it. I think we should have another vote.
They took a paper vote.
That's 7 oinks and 5 not oinking.
Oh, you piggies call yourself a jury? You want to let that big bad wolf go free? What's with you? This little piggy is forgetful, and this little piggy is regretful, and this little piggy's brain went to the market, and this little piggy should have stayed home, and this little piggy went wee all over the justice system.
But there's reasonable doubt. We don't have enough evidence.
There's a witness. The boy saw everything, and he heard that big bad wolf say, little pig, let me in, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. What more proof do you need to convict this canine? That was a reliable witness.
Pig slop pizza. Pig slop and pizza. Come and get it.
Get out of here, kid. We know you're trying to trick us.
Oh,
I guess that means your witness isn't so reliable.
I'm changing my vote to not guilty.
Me too. That kid's a liar.
Looks like there's reasonable doubt. I'm changing my vote too.
Maybe we were wrong about that wolf.
I knew he was innocent all along.
are you serious?
Raise your hand if you vote not guilty. Any votes for guilty?
Oink! I know I'm right, and you'll never change my mind.
We may have to declare a hung jury.
What's a hung jury?
When a jury is unable or unwilling to come to a unanimous decision, resulting in a mistrial. I thought everyone knew that.
Wow.
Fine, then it's a mistrial.
We aren't giving up. Let's keep talking. Convince us.
He's guilty.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Isn't.
Is.
Prove it.
Why can't you pigs see things the way I do? The facts are plain. Charlotte is guilty.
Charlotte? Who's Charlotte?
A spider. I meant a wolf. I'm talking about the big bad wolf.
But that's not what you said. You said Charlotte. Who is she?
She was a spider named Charlotte, and she was my best friend. But then she broke my heart and left me. And I promised myself I'd never trust another non-pig again. I vote not guilty. I vote not guilty.
For Pig, I think we're ready.
Back in the courtroom, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
And what is it?
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
Very well. Bailiff, you may release the defendant.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't think anyone would believe me.
Well, we were just doing our job. I'm sure it's not always easy when people think you're a big bad wolf.
Police, arrest the big bad wolf.
Here we go again.
The end.
A man walked into a lawyer's office and asked, "What are your rates?"
$50 for 3 questions.
Isn't that kind of steep?
After he pocketed the money, the lawyer answered, "Yep, what's your question?"
A farmer walks into a lawyer's office. May I help you?
Yeah, I want to get one of them thar divorces.
Well, do you have any grounds?
Yeah, I got me about 140 acres.
No, you don't understand. Do you have a case?
No, I don't have a case. I have a John Deere.
No, you don't understand. I mean, do you have a grudge?
Yeah, I got me a grudge. That's where I parks my John Deere.
No, sir. I mean, do you have a suit?
Yes, ma'am, I got me a suit. I wear it to church on Sundays.
Well, sir, does your wife beat you up or anything?
Oh, no, ma'am. We both get up about the same time, about 4:30.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Why do you want a divorce?
Well, I can never have me a meaningful conversation with her.
Are you married?
No, I'm divorced.
And what did your husband do before you divorced him?
A lot of little things I didn't know about.
A judge was hearing a drunk driving case, and the defendant, who had demanded a jury trial, he called a recess, went out in the hall, found a dozen lawyers, and impaneled them for the jury.
The trial was over in about 10 minutes, and it was clear that the defendant was guilty. The jury went out into the jury room, the judge started getting ready to go home, and everyone waited.
After nearly 3 hours, the judge sent the bailiff into the jury room to see what was holding up the verdict.
Well, have they got a verdict yet?
Verdict? They're still doing nominating speeches for the foreman's position.
Lawyer Dobbins was wheeled into the emergency room on a stretcher, rolling his head in agony. Dr. Green came over to him.
Dobbins, what an honor. The last time I saw you was in court when you accused me of malpractice.
Oh, Doc, My side is on fire. The pain is right here. What could it be?
Well, how would I know? You told the jury I wasn't fit to be a doctor.
I was only kidding, Doc. When you represent a client, you don't know what you're saying. Could I be passing a kidney stone?
Your diagnosis is as good as mine.
What are you talking about?
When you questioned me on the stand, you indicated you knew everything there was to know about the practice of medicine.
Doc, I'm climbing the wall. Give me something.
Let's say I give you something for a kidney stone and it turns out to be a gallstone. Who is going to pay for my court costs?
I'll sign a paper that I won't sue.
Let me read to you from the trial transcript. Lawyer Dobbins, why were you so sure my client had tennis elbow? Dr. Green, I've treated hundreds of people with tennis elbow and I know it when I see it. Dobbins, it never occurred to you that he could have an Excedrin headache? Green, no, there were no signs of an Excedrin headache. Dobbins, you and your ilk make me sick.
Why are you reading that to me?
Because, Dobbins, since the trial, I've lost confidence in making a diagnosis. A lady came in the other day limping.
Please, Doc, I don't want to hear it now. Give me some Demerol.
You said that I dispense drugs like a drunken sailor. I've changed my ways. I don't prescribe drugs anymore.
Then let me get another doctor.
There are no other doctors on duty. I'm here because after the malpractice suit, the sheriff seized everything in my office. This is the only place that I can practice.
If you give me something to relieve the pain, I will personally appeal your case to a higher court.
You know, Dobbins, I was sure that you were a prime candidate for a kidney stone.
You can't tell a man is a candidate for a kidney stone just by looking at him.
You had so much acid in you when you addressed the jury, I knew it would crystallize into stones. When you called me the butcher of operating room 6, I said, that man is going to be in a lot of pain.
Oh, okay. You've had your pound of flesh. Can I have my Demerol?
I better check you out first.
Don't check me out. Just give me the dope.
In court, you asked if I had examined the patient completely. It would be negligent of me not to do so now. Get up on the scale.
What for?
To find out your weight, in case I get sued and the lawyer asks how much you weigh.
I'm not going to sue you.
You say that now, but how can I be sure you won't file a writ after you pass the kidney stone?
A lawyer named Strange was shopping for a tombstone, and after he had made his selection, the stonecutter asked him, "What inscription would you like on it?"
Here lies an honest man and a lawyer.
Sorry, but I can't do that. In this state, it's against the law to bury two people in the same grave. I could put, "Here lies an honest lawyer."
But that won't let people know who it is.
Oh, it most certainly will. People will read it and exclaim, "That's strange."
Mr. Flynn, his honor is here.
Thank you. Just a moment. You ready, Roxy?
Oh, Billy, I'm scared.
Roxy, you got nothing to worry about. It's all a circus, kid. A 3-ring circus. These trials, the whole world, all show business. But kid, you're working with a star, the biggest. Give 'em the old razzle-dazzle, razzle-dazzle-em. Give 'em an act with lots of flash in it, and the reaction will be passionate. Give 'em the old hocus-pocus, beat and feather 'em. How can they see with sequins in their eyes? What if your hinges all are rusting? What if, in fact, you're just disgusting? Razzle-dazzle 'em, and they'll never catch wise. Give 'em the old razzle-dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle-um. Give 'em a show that's so splendiferous.
Row after row will crow vociferous.
Give 'em the old flim-flam-flomax, full and fracture 'em.
How can they hear the truth above the roar?
Throw 'em a fake and a finagle. They'll never know you're just a bagel.
Razzle-dazzle 'em, and they'll beg you for more.
Give 'em the old double whammy, daze and dizzy 'em. Back since the days of old Methuselah, everyone loves the big bamboozler. Give 'em the old three-ring circus, stun and stagger 'em. When you're in trouble, go into your dance. Though you are stiffer than a girder, they'll let you get away with murder. Razzle-dazzle-um, and you've got a romance.
Give 'em the old razzle-dazzle, razzle-dazzle-um. Show 'em the first-rate sorcerer you are. Long as you keep 'em way off balance, they'll never spot you've got no talents. Razzle-dazzle-um,
Razzle-dazzle-um, razzle-dazzle-um, and they'll make you a star.
Thank you for coming and join us for refreshments.
I know, but it's funny.
Oh my. Oh gosh. Well, it was fun. One thing I regret is we didn't ever go have coffee so I could get to know you guys better. So there.
Who wants to know you? Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't talking about me.
Yeah, right. So, good job. Are you going to come in the first?
I don't understand. See, my schedule is such that I'll be here midnight, I'll be here morning. So it might be a summer thing because I work less in the summer. But you ought to think about doing it.